When you see a beautiful or attractive person, something magical and amazing happens inside of you. An overwhelming sense of energy fills your body, and it gives you a high that nothing else on this planet can touch. This experience is fully normal, healthy, and would be unnatural to suppress. But something much darker and soul-consuming has been normalized in our society. Movies and TV, adult websites, advertising, books, and more have normalized the experience of desiring sex above all else, to the point where you might be considered a freak if you appreciate another person's beauty but have no desire to have sex with them. This is lust, told throughout history as a sin, yet incredibly normal and accepted in modern times. Growing up around boys, it was completely normal to talk about which girls we wanted to have sex with, to the point where you were the weirdo if you didn't have an opinion on this. The normalization of this has caused a much greater problem in our society. Many people are looking through the world with the vision of their sexual hunger being the primary driver for the type of partner they wish to have. In the process, blinding them from meeting a person that shares their vibe and could potentially be compatible for life. The point of this video is to explain what life is like if you don't live through the eyes of lust, and the massive benefits of going all in on it. We will be discussing the current state of sex and lusting addiction, and why almost all men are trapped in it, as well as many women. I will explain why it's worth breaking it and the massive benefits you will have in your life by doing so. From there, we will go into how to break the addiction itself, then finish off with a note on keeping consistent with the practice. Let's get into it. Sex is above all else one of the highest desires on the human totem pole, below hunger and thirst. Having a desire to reproduce is completely healthy, as well as what was mentioned at the beginning. The sexual energy you feel inside from seeing somebody you are attracted to is normal and completely okay. So what's the problem? If I had to point a finger, it's these websites. These guys aren't the only ones doing it, but they are destroying the most people inside compared to anything else. Websites like this have normalized the practice of seeing people as sexual objects, or tools of personal gratification. It is completely normal and acceptable in modern society to be alone, sexually fantasize about having somebody, whether they are in a video or a person you know in real life, and get yourself off to the idea of having them for your personal gratification. Just so the line is clearly drawn now, this is the sin. The feeling stirred up by seeing a creature of beauty is natural and unavoidable, but living in a sexual fantasy in your head, imagining what you would do to said person, is completely avoidable. Lusting is a choice, unlike the other, which is a natural impulse. The downsides of regularly engaging with lust is massive, but just to name a few real quick, it's a huge waste of time. Just being in the headspace drains your energy. It gives you a boost at first, but you will be far weaker by the end of the day. You will stop seeing others as people with souls, and instead how viable they are as sex objects, and it will become an intrusive thought that you can't stop, which can and will cause problems. I need to make it clear, I don't blame men or women at all for having this addiction. With just a quick Google search, masturbation is cited as being healthy, and if you search if adult websites are bad for you, it tells you they are neither healthy or unhealthy. What does that even mean? This information is what gets young kids addicted to these free websites, essentially hijacking their natural and normal response to find beauty in their sexual preference and make lusting not just normal, but a way of life. And if so many people are engaging with this, surely it's normal, right? If you consider making a website that functions off of hijacking your natural sexual energy to make you an addict that keeps coming back and then make them ad revenue, then sure, it's normal. So what's the point? Why should we break this addiction if science says it's okay for us? Breaking this will give you an overwhelming amount of clarity in your life and restore within you a high excess of childlike energy you might not have felt in years. You will have much more time in your life now that gooning isn't on your schedule, and your interactions with others will improve substantially, attracting more people into your life. Also, if you want to find a life partner, this makes the hunt more of locating a glowing object versus a needle in a haystack. Of everything in my life, stepping away from lust has given me the most dividends, but it's hard to put into words just how liberating it is. I'll try my best to explain it though. Humans thrive when we interact on nonverbal cues. We have an ability to sense another person's energy or vibe spiritually and subconsciously, and this feeling becomes deeply amplified when you quit lusting. When you are engaged with lust every day, it's normal to want somebody because their body is hot and nothing else matters. But once you cut this off, your connection to their souls and energy will naturally take the forefront again, because the sexual lusting is not blocking it anymore. You will know when this is kicked in, as others you may have worshipped in your past may now turn you off, due to their behavior and the way they act around you. Whereas somebody less physically hot may click with you and make you feel things inside you didn't think was possible before. This feeling should be your guide to make your best friends and romantic partners in your life, and we can only feel it fully if lust isn't cutting off our natural impulses by making the experience about how their body turns you on versus how their personality turns you on. To try to explain the extended energy bit, if you see someone beautiful and that natural feeling takes you over, you can actually breathe, absorb, and enjoy the way it makes you feel. This energy is sacred, and you will feel it in your head and body. But the moment you take that feeling and begin lusting over the other person, you will lose that power, draining you the more you linger on the thought. If you just never let the thought reach lust, this energy will pile up more and more, giving back dividends of energy and creative impulses into your life. There is so much more to this that I truly cannot find the words to express, and this is why I highly think you need to try it to see what you are missing. If you know, you know. So how on earth do you break this addiction? This is one of the hardest addictions to break, because again, sexual energy is up there with eating and drinking. If you've been lusting over others for years, that is a very powerful pathway in your brain that is going to want to go automatically unless if you are taking conscious control of your mind. My recommendation is to completely quit adult videos and never go back. This is going to be very hard because your brain is so chemically accustomed to watching these that it's going to be extremely tempting to go back. You must not. You will find a massive excess of energy within yourself from quitting, and it will want to be released somehow. Doing activities or working out is the best way to not let this feeling consume you. But if you feel you must masturbate, do it without videos or visual stimulation, no matter what. When you have spent a few weeks to months cutting out the videos, you will already begin to feel some of the difference in how you feel inside, and some of the benefits I mentioned in the past section. Your next goal should be to catch yourself sinking into lusting heavily over somebody if you have a real-life interaction with them. If you catch yourself and deny it, you will feel the overwhelming amount of energy flowing within you, which is then yours to do with as you wish. This part may take several weeks to months, depending on how long you have been addicted to lusting, so don't beat yourself up if it keeps happening, but keep catching yourself and stopping when it happens. And eventually, you can achieve the clarity of mind and just enjoying another person without falling into a deep desire to receive sexual gratification from them. Then all the deeper benefits will fall into place. At this point, if you want to go even deeper into the practice to get the highest mental benefits, I would begin looking into semen retention and either only get yourself off with a partner that you love, or even better, make love to your partner and not get off at all. But that's a topic for another video. I believe if you seriously want to quit lust and work with the steps I outlined, you are going to feel the energy shift in your life and it will change your worldview forever. This is the red pill. The only problem with taking it is if you go back to a life of masturbating and lusting over others, you are going to have the knowledge and memory that things could be so much better for you. I recommend giving this a serious try, noting or journaling how it makes you feel, and then use that as your motivation to not go back to a life of lust. Please do not expect this to be easy at first. This is challenging deep biological patterns within yourself, and there will be failures. But if you understand this and are kind to yourself, you can break this habit, and it will pay back to you more in your life than you might be able to dream of. It did for me, and it can for you too. Please comment below if you have any questions, stories, or anything related to this topic you want to share. If this helped you out and you want to support the channel, liking and subscribing helps me a lot. Also, if you would like exclusive deeper insights into every video's topic, and to be immortalized into every video's credits, you can subscribe to my Patreon to help me out even further. Thank you so much for taking some time to watch this.